Well, hello everybody. Bill Shaka. Welcome to another edition of the 5-Minute Motivator. Welcome to my home in beautiful Tamarindo, Costa Rica. Ladies and gentlemen, before I start this particular presentation, I'm going to ask you again to please like, share, and or comment on these posts. It ensures maximum distribution across the various social media platforms, and it's very important because the more likes and shares that I get on this, the more that YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook will continue to distribute this information. I think this is kind of important information to share. I mean, please keep in mind, developing these 5-minute motivators on a daily basis is not an easy task. As a matter of fact, it's a relatively daunting task. Finding information and then being able to condense it down to a 5-minute talk is kind of difficult, and I don't mind doing it. As a matter of fact, I want to do it. I think it's important to get these particular little tidbits of information out there, but I could use your help, so I would appreciate that. Also, keep this in mind, very soon you're going to be seeing the 5-Minute Motivator membership coming out, where you're going to be able to get these 5-minute motivators directly into your inbox. Isn't that cool? So you're not going to have to search for them on LinkedIn. They'll be there, and there'll be this entire repository of all of the 5-minute motivators. So if there's one that you particularly liked and you want to go back and revisit it, you're going to have the ability to do that. Isn't that cool? I hope you're enjoying these 5-minute motivators as much as I'm enjoying doing them. So let's move on. And today I'd like to talk about trust. I want to try to decompose trust and rip it apart. Think about what trust actually means. Who do you trust? Is it fair to say that a large part of trust comes from individuals that have already walked the path that we are looking to walk? In other words, we trust the people that are a couple steps ahead of us. And by doing that, it gives us the ability to begin to garner some of the experience and information that they have. I mean, think about it, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that are constant metabolizers of these 5-minute motivators, you and I are developing a certain level of trust. Even though we haven't met, you're taking this information and you're trusting that I have actually experienced it and I'm putting it together properly. So much, in fact, that you're going to invest 5 minutes of your time listening to it and actually starting to do something with this information that I've done years ago through experience. Hopefully shortening your experience cycle with it. That's what trust is. That's where trust comes from. Now, in general, when you trust somebody, it means that you are giving them all of the emotional credence that you can to move them forward. Think about when you were a child, or think about when your children were very young, and your child would run to you from across the room, fully trusting that you would catch them. And you always did. If you were a child, you were always caught. That's trust. As we begin to develop trust, and as individuals begin to trust us, everything begins to change. As a matter of fact, the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to realize that the world is based on trust. The world is based on what others have done and our ability to believe in what they've done, to share in their vision, and to move it forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is kind of an actionable step for you. How can you instill trust in others? It has to do with actions. Act as if. If you begin to act in such a positive, self-confident way that others will look at you and say, "Ha ha, I want a piece of that," then what's happening is you are building trust. Here's the interesting thing. not only are they going to trust you in the actual activity that you're working toward, but they will begin to understand the model of trust. They will begin to act in that self-confident way so that others will trust them. What we're doing is we're keeping it going. Trust. Trust others and act in such a way that others will trust you. This is Bill Shaka thanking you for attending another edition of the 5 Minute Motivator. We'll see you again on the other side. Bye-bye.